Okay, thank you. Good morning. My name is Sam Fransen. I'm a senior finance consultant. And let's look at the features of Wave 2 for how to streamline your finance and supply chain. I will look at the finance part, and then my colleague Joao will take over for the supply chain part. Let's look at the first feature, and that's the invoice capturing. As you all will know, vendors will send invoices from different channels like email, saved on file workspaces because they got a paper invoice and have to put it through the scanner and save it on the file workspace, or through an invoice portal. So you can have different formats, of course, paper, images, and so the invoice capture solution will handle these different channels. So which types of channels are supported, like the Office 365 Outlook features, of course, the Outlook.com, SharePoint, OneDrive, you name it, it is covered. When the channel is created for a specific account, then an automatic flow based on a predefined template will then monitor the incoming emails or the files in the inbox and will handle the invoice capturing. Another feature of this invoice capturing is changing the confidence score settings. What does it mean? The confidence scores the confidence scores is metadata that the invoice capture solution provides. It will report an accuracy of the recognized invoice data. The higher the score is, the more accurate the recognized data may be. And the configuration of the invoice capturing feature will let user define when manual review is required, based on, of course, the confidence score. Users can then change the confidence score threshold for invoices, and so the score settings can be updated. Another nice feature of the invoice capturing is, of course, the users can manage the list of invoice fields and can define manual review settings for legal entities by using configuration groups. Users can then set up invoice configurations for different legal entities in certain groups. And all the legal entities in the same configuration group use then the same invoice fields and manual review settings. Last but not least, the feature of invoice capturing is the mapping rules. Mapping rules bring basic data from Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance in the mapping rules. So you can define mapping rules and set up them based on information from Dynamics 365, like, for example, the vendor master data. So you can, when then the mapping rules are used, the accounts payable clerk will check the status instead of manually filling all the missing fields. There are 4 types of mapping rules. There's a legal entity, the vendor account, of course, the items, or eventually expense type. Related to the invoice capturing, of course, we have the vendor invoice automation. And as just mentioned before by the last speaker, we are using a lot of automation tools to improve processes and automate processes. So you can automate the vendor invoicing process, of course, by using this vendor invoice automation process. These processes include the submitting of imported vendor invoices to the workflow system and matching product receipt lines to pending vendor invoice lines. The automated process shows then information about the progress of a vendor invoice as it moves through each of the processes. This capability can help then accounts payable clerks and managers to process vendor invoices more efficiently. It will also help reduce the errors and inefficiencies that can occur when information is manually entered and processed. The automation process can perform the following tasks. It can automatically apply prepayments to vendor invoice if you're working with prepayments and have created prepayment invoice, for example. Automatically submit import invoices to the workflow system, as I just mentioned. It will match the product receipts to the pending invoice lines, and it will simulate posting before a vendor invoice is posted. And then last but not least, you can quickly and efficiently view the workflow and the automation history. Yeah, good. Another nice feature which will come in Wave 2 is the save time of letter settlement. Ledger settlement is the process of matching debit and credit transactions for certain, for example, balance accounts where you have, for example, incoming payments and outgoing payments because you are using an account for that, or you have certain accounts for accruals. Organizations that perform the ledger settlement activities on a recurring schedule can now automate this process. So far it was manual action, so you had to select all your separate entries and then settle them to get an overview of your balance account for the remaining unsettled account transactions. But now with this new feature, you can automate this ledger settlement process. A prerequisite for enabling this feature is that you have also enabled the feature awareness between ledger settlement and year-end close. Because what will be done if you will use the automate ledger settlement and also this other feature of awareness between ledger settlement and year-end close, then when you are doing a year-end close, it will move the unsettled transactions to the opening balance for the next year, so that you can settle then in the new year your transactions from the opening balance with the transactions in new periods. So how would that work? You, in fact, set up a recurrence of a batch job. So you define a batch job. You define the rules for settling, and you can then define settlement types, and then it will automatically settle the transactions which can be settled. You can, of course, define the matching rules that are based on transaction attributes. So it will save you a lot of time, and I'm very happy with this feature. Another feature which will come in the Wave 2 is some enhancements on subscription billing. The first one would be the customer split billing. It will customer split lets you add customers, start end date, and percentage of billing for the added customer. And when you then generate the invoice process run, one sales order is created for the parent customer and one is created for each customer on the customer split page. Another enhancement on subscription billing is the quotation enhancements. So recurring contract billing enables the generating sales quotation using the pre-existing quotation report from a billing schedule. And along with generating the quotation report, the data is stored in existing sales quotation tables. Then another feature is printing payment advice for approved vendor payments. As most users will know, so far you could only print payment advices once the payment file was sent. So the status of the payment journal was put to send. Now you can also generate payment advices when the status of your payment journal is approved. So it can be handled, so you don't have to wait till the complete process of generating the file is finished. No, you can do it once the payment journal has been approved. Then there's another feature called Identified Financial Tax. An organization, what will this deliver to you is that an organization can define up to 15 financial tags, which will be stored on accounting entries posted to the general ledger. The financial tag names can be defined by the user, giving clarity to data entry clerks about the data expected. So financial tags are not a replacement of the financial dimensions, but they are offering you added value if you don't want to need necessarily extra dimensions. So the financial tag values are not validated or entered by default. They can be entered manually on transactions, such as financial journals or imported through transactional entities. Then another nice feature is the general year-end enhancements. So you will have the ability to specify balance sheet financial dimensions in detail when you close a year. This parallels the capability that's available for profit and loss accounts. And it will also improve overall performance so that the year-end close process runs more efficiently. Then another nice feature is the globalization features. As you all know, Microsoft is offering all localizations for certain countries, and now added value will be the electronic invoicing.